Hello everyone, welcome to the Dubai Racing Carnival Meeting 10, and what a feast of action we have for you this afternoon into the evening here in the United Arab Emirates. Meydan Racecourse, well, it hosted a pretty good meeting last week, to say the least. Fashion Friday, it promised plenty and it delivered in spades. But that's not to say we haven't got good action for you this afternoon into the evening, because while there's the usual brand of competitive dirt racing, we also have fantastic racing on the turf, headlined by the Dubai Millennium Stakes, named after a horse who really deserves to be immortalised because of what he achieved on the track. He was snatched away from us by a sire, but he left us Dubawi, who has made his own indelible footprint into the fabric here in the UAE. They raced, both of them, in the royal blue, and it could be quite the blue evening here tonight. To give you more details, the voice of the UAE racing scene, Pat Comerford.
Tonight's Mawj Stakes is headlined by a great horse. Off the rating of 101, Group 3 winner, Dance to the Music, looks the filly to beat. A two-time Meydan winner last season. We welcome back Symbol of Honour, coming to take out, hopefully, tonight's Dubai Sprint. Well, the Group 3 Dubai Millennium is shaping up to be a two-horse tussle. Last start winner Arabian Light looks to knock off stablemate by the book in the 700,000 dirham feature. Here is tonight's schedule for our card of racing. Only 8 races tonight, kicking off with the Jumeirah Guineas trial over the 1,600 metres. The Jafza Logistics Park, it's a 3-year-old maiden over the mile on dirt. The Mawj Stakes over 1,400 metres, out to the 2,000 metres to the World Cup start on dirt. It is the Jafza Handicap. We head to the listed contest. It is a turf sprint. The Dubai Sprint, sponsored by DP World. Then to the Dubai Millennium Stakes at Group 3 level over the 10 furlongs. The DP World Logistics, a handicap to finish off over the mile on dirt, and a mile turf race to wrap it up, the Dubai Auto Market Handicap. Here is the runners who won't be joining us. Race 2, number 17, 18, Musical Rose and Kahman do not gain a start. Race 5, number 6, Lamborghini BF comes out. Race 7, we lose the 2, Ragib, the 11, Army Ethos, and third emergency, Muzahim, does not take his part. Race 8, 17, 18, 19 and 20, all 4 emergencies are out of the final event. And looking at our rider changes with those first 2 emergencies coming into the 7th event. Pat Dobbs to ride Dance Charger for Doug Watson, and Mirzabak Kapershev does the riding on Nougal for Ali Al-Badwawi.
Well, as you might be able to tell, it is bright out front of the grandstand here at Meydan Racecourse. Pat Comerford and I shaded up, hopefully looking to find a bit of shade soon.
Yeah,
Pat.
hopefully, Anthony. Thank you very much, and good to have you back here in the UAE for your first meeting for the season. It's as we know, it's hard when you have these real big meetings to sort of be the meeting to follow that up. You know, we're not expecting the depth or the class that we had last meeting with Fashion Friday, but it's still a meeting that promises to be very good with, I mean, more so juvenile races than anything. A couple of nice young horses stepping out here. And obviously Godolphin with a really good hand of runners tonight here. A few that they've really targeted a few of these races, and a couple that they haven't missed so far since the races have begun. So it's it's an exciting night ahead. What
is quite nice though is there is a lot of blue. Few of them on retrieval missions though.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a mixture. There's a couple of horses that are on the way up. There's a couple of horses here that, you know, that they're looking to sort of hopefully see them find a little bit more. So a little bit of mixture amongst the lot. But yeah, look, really excited to kick off the first here at 5:30.
And our opening race is for those newly aged 3-year-olds, if you will. They will turn 3 on the January the 1st. And this is the Jumeirah Guineas trial. It's a race that Godolphin have farmed since its inception in 2023. And they've got a big hand in it. Swordmaker for Saeed, Pacific Appear for Charlie Appleby, and Trammell, very interesting, taking on title role once again when they ran over the 1,400 metre trip in the Jumeirah Stakes. You've also got the likes of Zambezi, who comes in here for the Nishleniks. Looking forward to seeing how that form is tested, Pat, because a lot of them have faced each other. They've all had a look at each other. And on this occasion, when we see them. Title Roll's going to do best of them. He did remarkably well in this. I don't think this is Tranmore's best running, though. I think he was too fresh.
Yeah, there's multiple ways you could look at it, Anthony. I mean, you've hit the nail on the head with Title Roll. He drew 15 this start, and he never saw the rail at any stage. He was a long way from it, to be exact. The ability to stick on the way that he has obviously, he's shown plenty of merit there. I think he'll be fitter for the race. He's just, obviously, even with a slightly smaller field here, he's got a wide draw to contest with. Going to make it a little bit tougher for him. But I do agree with what you said about Tranmore. I don't think we actually saw the best of him, and we were never expecting to see the best of him. Billy Lofnan rode him that day. The stable knew that he probably wasn't the best prospect in the race. William Buick would have been on him as a result of that. He wasn't. And I think we will see him go a little bit of a step further, and he's going to get all favours here from the draw as well. I think he's clearly the horse to beat here, and yeah, I've sided with him here in this event, even though I do have a lot of respect for Title Roll. He was super impressive. I just think there's things against him here again tonight. I
agree. I just think from stall 4, he's been granted a really nice gate once again. William Buick probably pops out, gets a nice position. Hopefully the cobwebs have been blown off. Hopefully he's learnt a bit more, because he's only had 3 runs. We sometimes expect these Godolphin horses to be ping, bang, ready straight off. And he was, but he's had to learn a bit in his 2 further runs.
I think he's a prime example of a horse that they've brought out here just because the maturity that this season here is going to bring him, especially if he goes back to the UK. The travel helps them. Just a season out here can bring these horses on massively, and I think they're looking more long term with a horse like Tranmore as to what he's going to be able to deliver the stable in future years. This is just sort of setting the tone and building the foundation for what he's truly capable of.
So Tranmore for you?
Tranmore for me.
Perfect, me as well. So we've agreed on the first one. We'll see if the other 7 races, we're treading common water. The Jafza Logistics Park is our first race on the dirt. It's a maiden, and it's over 1,600 metres. Some very interesting types in here. The likes, well, they're mostly going to be on the second page of runners. I thought Bateau, he's nearly drawn on the E66 in 16. That's going to be very difficult for him to overcome on debut. But Bhupat Sima has a very interesting debutant in Saloom. Tygo Shea, the stable jockey, taking the ride. National History getting his second jump out on the dirt as well. He's drawn 1. I don't know whether that's a blessing or a curse necessarily, because he was slow away on debut. And when I say he was slow away, there was a point where I thought he was just going to get left behind. But the way he runs on was so admirable.
I think there is a horse here that you've got to give plenty of respect to. I think the stable obviously had quite an opinion of him early doors. Going off from what I've heard, he was potentially picked as the pick of the 2 between him and Devon Island, and
we can see is bolting away here.
Look what Devon Island's gone on to do. I don't think he's had his chance in his last couple of starts. I mean, whether it be bad draws or whether it be just being in an awkward spot at the wrong time here, he just hasn't had his chance to fully flourish yet. And I'm interested to see how he goes here. I think the gate is going to see him provide the best of what he can do at this point of his career, and if they're able to utilise the gate, it's going to see him in a much more favourable position. I agree with you in the fact that I think Saloom is probably the biggest danger in this field. I'm looking forward to seeing how he steps out. Great to see that the confidence has been quite high with him heading into this debut run. He's the unknown prospect in the race, but of the horses that are exposed, National History is the one that's got to be given the most respect here, because he's finally going to get a chance to actually have a properly run race for him.
Yamdeek brings interesting experience into it, and backing up just 7 days on from Fashion Friday.
He is an interesting runner. Look, I mean, it's good to see that His Highness's horses have made their way to other stables. I mean, I know we've seen Sheikh Ahmed have horses with Salam bin Gudaya in recent seasons, and I mean on UAE soil. Usually it's the Jebel Ali stable that has most of the runners. But, Yamdeek, another one here for Ahmed bin Hamish, who, again, he's had a bad run of draws. And it continues for him here tonight with another bad draw that's going to see him have to work hard. But he's on the quick backup here. Fitness is going to be no issue. And, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes if he can overcome a few things in the run.
Are you with Godolphin?
I am with the Godolphin. I just think Gate 1's going to see him at his best here tonight, and I don't think there's no things that you could turn around and say, okay, you know, the draw got him beat or fitness got him beat. He's going to be fit as he can be tonight, and he's going to have all favours from the draw. So yeah, I have to pick him.
I'm one gate over from you. I'm with Saloom. I'm hoping he pings the lid and you cop a bit of kickback.
Yeah, I think they're the, I think they're the two.
Well, as he showed, kickback, not too much of a concern when he ate a lot of it last time on his debut national history. Still ran on really nicely, and that form's been well franked. We move on to the Mawj Stakes. This could well be blue as well, because we've got a headline act. In Dance to the Music, a Group 3 winner of the Sweet Solera at Newmarket, and well clear on ratings. The Scandinavians are in town, and they're out in force, the likes of Sweet Sunshine, Taifu. You've got a Spanish challenger in Jelinot. Miss Your Chance, fascinating up to this kind of trip. We'll see how that works out. And some more Scandies, likes of Supreme Shine. Czechia have a runner, Lady Garfield, a truly international renewal of the Mawj Stakes. But time and time again, Pat, the international challengers have come and tried to challenge Godolphin in this race, and they've been batted away, and I think it's going to be the case once again.
I mean, they've shown in recent seasons they just seem to pick the horse that they're going to target this race with, and usually it is first time out here in the UAE, and this is the exact same mould that we've seen here with this Daughter of Dubawi in Dance to the Music. Kicking off obviously the career with a novice win there at Newmarket, and then returned here with this Group 3 victory in the Newsells Park Stud Sweet Solera Stakes. Has had the 2 runs at Group 1 company since then for no result. Did get only beaten, you know, a length and a quarter on one of those occasions to Corsia Veloce. But I think going off what we've seen exposed form, she's been thrown in the deep end with Group 1 company early in her career, and she faces nothing like Group 1 company here tonight. So they might be stepping her back here into the Mawj Stakes, but it's a race that they've dominated, and the market overseas agrees that it's just another stepping stone for her. She should be winning.
I was lucky enough to be at that Newmarket meeting. I was covering it, and I asked Charlie Appleby afterwards what her greatest asset is, and he said it's her turn of foot and her speed. So I thought it was interesting they tried 1600 with her twice at the back end of the season, but I guess that's the programme in Europe and in America. You try it, it didn't work then. It might work a little later on in the Carnival, but I think 1400, she's proven over it. Miss Your Chance, very interesting stepping up in trip. I think she's got it to do with Dance to the Music, but fair play to Antonio Sintra and Julio Olaquaga that they're having a go at it, and the race is on. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one that's come up at the right time for her, just from her, from her schedule. She's had this win down the straight. She was on speed. She was dominant in this occasion, and she was able to come out and win. Looking at her final 200 here, Anthony, I just don't know if this is a horse that we're going to see be able to stretch out to 7 furlongs and do it electric enough to be holding on and winning and holding out a horse like Dance to the Music. What I did mention in the preview as well the other day was that I think Miss Your Chance only aids the confidence for a horse like Dance to the Music, because she's going to create that speed, that pace in the race, and as a result, it's going to stretch that field out, where normally in a field over 7 furlongs here, you're going to have horses who are drawn out on the track, caught wide. I think with this leader kicking away, it's going to create a genuine tempo, and it's going to open the field right up for her to be able to come across and find a good spot in there. So I think Godolphin are quite happy to have Miss Your Chance in the race, but I can also understand the stable's decision to go there, because she was very good in that last start performance, and she's got a good chance to race here for some nice prize money. And also the Lath Racing get a chance to get a real guide on where she's at and what they're going to be able to do with her long term. If she goes back in grade a little bit and targets an easier race next start, well, she'll be fitter for it, and she'll probably be better for the run as well. So I think there's positives and there's pros and cons to having her in the race here tonight.
I just found it impossible to go against Dance to the Music. Yep. No, to be honest, it's just another of those situations.
Just well-found race. She just fits the mould of the right horse to be bringing here, and expecting her to run well.
Totally different race following. That's the Jafza. It's a handicap over 2,000 metres. We're back on the dirt, and this is going to be a very interesting pace scenario. Lots of these horses took each other on over 2,200 last time, and that included the likes of Antrim, who's number 6 there, Sam James and Carl Beck, teaming up for a first start win out here in the UAE. He's looking to back up and with potentially bigger and better things to come. Let's have a look at Go Soldier Go. Absolutely blew the start last time, ran remarkably well to get back in contention. Valdivia, who was second in that race that Antrim was, but I think there's a lot of confidence on the international markets, Pat, that Antrim is going to back this up and back it up in some style.
Well, you'd like to hope so. I mean, 2,200 metre races, it was a big field on that occasion, but it was the manner in which the horse was able to be put into the race and just travelled into the race so strongly, travelled on the bridle all the way till the 300 metre mark of a race, which first time out on the dirt here is something that you don't get to see all too often. I think dropping back in trip is going to be slightly a bit more of a concern, because the question is, will the horse gain as easy of a lead, or be as uncontested in front as we saw there last time out? Maybe not, but it is a good stepping stone for this horse to step into this better company, and it has become a stronger race. Obviously, as we'll touch on, a horse like Tap Leader, who was meant to run last week in the Group 1, little step back, heads back now to the Jafza here tonight, and just makes this race a much more stronger, genuine contest. And I think Antrim deserves favouritism, but he's going to be up against it. I think
El Yabri's a great spot in this. I think he ran out of his skin on Festive Friday. The weight terms were not in his favour. He had plenty to prove in that respect. He's just solid around here. I like him from stall 2 as well. I think Richie Mullen will hopefully be able to get a good prominent box seat position, and he's going to be quite hard to grind down. He's
an honest contender, and I mean, a lot of these horses who are trained here at the facility have that advantage. He's been doing it out here for seasons. He's done an amazing job, has Masaba El Maheri with this horse, to just keep ticking him over, and he's amassed some nice prize money in his time. He's always got to be given a likely chance every time he steps out to the track.
Well, he might be consistent, but ultimately it's down to hear what Carl Burke has to say about Antrim, who might just have the X factor in this race.
As they swing the bend here in the Azizi Milan. Gun Carriage, he's on vapours now. La Resh and also Antrim peels out to the outside and looks very ominous here. At the 300, Valdivia starting to challenge. It's Antrim from Valdivia. Warhawk, Gun Carriage trying to stick on, finding again as Antrim hits the lead. Coming away now from Valdivia. 2.5 lengths. Antrim coming away in the old Lath Racing colours. And Carl Burke and Sam James picked themselves up a dirt winner for the season. Antrim coming away for a stylish win. 2.5 to Valdivia, second over. Third was Warhawk, and Go Soldier Goes just missed the frame in 4th.
Yeah, very pleased with him. Antrim, he was bought by the owners specifically to come out here to run on the dirt, and it was a good choice. He'll go, hopefully. I've just seen him do a little piece of work this morning. He looks in great shape, very happy with him. The plan for me would be to go for the handicap on the 30th, mile 2, and then if he performs like he did last week, we'll have a go at the Maxim Challenge in 4 weeks after that. He's always had the action for it, and I can see why they bought him to try the dirt here, and he's got that bit of knee action, but he loves this surface.
As Araby hits the lead and takes over in the final 250 metres, right here, right now, staying on, running on well, 2 Tribes, then came in behind Yatara. It's Araby the leader, out after it 2 Tribes, Araby 2 Tribes, Indian Spring late, it's 2 Tribes and Indian Spring, 2 Tribes, Indian Spring, 2 Tribes. 2 Tribes I think has just got it. From Indian Spring, Araby third across, 4th was Twilight.
Yeah, I thought we had it, to be honest, a furlong and a half out. Probably hit the front a little bit sooner than ideal, and then just got a little bit tired in the last 100 yards. But he was always a very lazy horse, and Sam had ridden him at home and ridden him a couple of times, and he always took a bit of stoking up, so he gave him a bit of a stoking up, 2 out, and he showed a real good turn of foot. He surprised Sam and ended up sort of kicking 2 lengths clear, probably, like I say, half a furlong too soon, but he goes for the listed race on the 30th as well, and should run a big race for us.
Carl Burke there talking about the chances of Antrim in the 2,000 metre handicap, and then Araby in the Dubai Sprint, which we're going to have a look at now. I like him. I completely can see what Carl was saying. I can see that very clearly, that they thought he was lazy. they gave him one behind the saddle, and he woke up beyond their wildest dreams, and he was in front too soon.
Well, I tipped him up with some pretty great deal of confidence last time out, and look, I mean, I would have loved to have seen him win, but the performance was, you know, just as good as a win. I mean, for a horse that had a bit of a lull, 3-year-old season, returns at Ford and produces that in its first run here in the UAE, you've got to give the horse plenty of respect. Look, I mean, Symbol of Honor is a 2-time winner here down the straight. That's going to see him go really well. But Araby looks that likely danger, who drops here a few kilos and is going to get, you know, going to be able to put himself into the race here. And I think, yeah, there's a likely hope.
Well, there's plenty of horses who you could give some kind of chance to. This is the Araby race where Two Tribes is going to mug him. Your Tarid was underperformer this day, but he bounced right back last time as well. And Run Boy Run, just like his Heritage Handicap runs in the UK, you can never really rule much out. So I thought this was really competitive. I thought, while this is a handicap, Pat, an 85 to 105, as you can see, it looked a lot better than that, and with horses who have potential to make their mark in this listed grade.
I agree. I think this is a good form line for an 85 to 105. I think as a form line, it's going to hold up quite strong. And as we said, we see a lot of those horses coming here to this race tonight, and I think that's the form line to follow coming out of this race. So, look, I mean, it's a bit of an unfortunate that Indian Springs didn't bounce and run as well the following start, but I'd like to hope that you know, a few of these horses can put in a repeat effort just as good as what they did there.
Sorry, we've been rabbiting on for so long, we don't even know half of the field. So let's take a look at the runners and riders, which includes Symbol of Honor and Araby et al. You just saw a key piece of form, in my opinion, at least. Symbol of Honor there for William Buick and Charlie Appleby. There could be a few winners deep there. The Striking Viking, a striking performer at times. His question mark, I think, is going to be the ground a little bit. Westaker, he's on a retrieval mission up to 1200. I'm not crazy about it, but it's a big night in Bahrain for George Scott. So Billy Loughnane taking the ride with Callum Shepherd, needed for 6 rides over there. Good to see the likes of Rebels Gamble in there as well. Kubrick, he made his UA debut in the Ras Al Khor all the way back in last March. We haven't seen him since, but he's back. Your Turrid, Run Boy Run. Apollo 1 back on the turf, and another interesting angle, and Power Mode as well. So, I mean, there's stacks of potential within here.
It is. It's a very deep race. I'm intrigued to see how it will shape up from a speed map perspective, because it looks to be like there's going to be a lot of horses going forward here, which, unfortunately, as we mentioned earlier on, Araby had that sort of mid-race burst of speed once Sam James gave him a little bit of a tap round the bum and kicked away. But I don't think there's going to be... I think it's going to be a lot hotter pace-wise earlier than what we saw there, and I think there's going to be quite a few vying for it for the lead. So whether Araby gets its chance to control it from the front this time around, I'm not too sure. And as a result, that's why I sided with Symbol of Honor here. I just think he's a horse that doesn't have to go forward. He can sort of relish, find a spot just in behind the speed, and look for him to be coming over the top of them late if the run appears for him.
Well, let's have a look at him in action, because he was pretty deadly last Carnival. And these wins, Pat, they were doing while he was learning on the job. He was nowhere near the finished article at that point. You see him winning a conditions race roughly this time last year. He's taken in some hot company against his elders since, because he was a gelding he couldn't run in the Commonwealth Cup. So this feels like it could be a breakout season for him. Now he's got another winter under his belt.
Yeah, I mean, and like, you look at the greenness in his racing, and I mean, and it seems, looking at his Group 1 races last time out as well, I mean, he's continued the whole way through that racing preparation to just mature and also grow. He's filled out a lot more this time around. He's going to come back. I think he's come back a bigger horse this time, and I'm expecting to see him run a pretty bold race here. I think sometimes once they're contesting these Group 1 races, they need to drop back, put them into a race that, you know, is like, I wouldn't say an easy kill, but much more suitable company. Hopefully come through that and he'll be bigger and better for it.
You know, I completely forgotten Dark Saffron was second in that race. What a difference a year makes, the highs and lows of a horse's career.
Yeah, look, I mean, It's unfortunate that they've had to come back to the grass with him. I don't think that the initial plan would have been to do that, but with these unfortunate blunders that he's had his last couple of starts, it obviously hasn't gone to plan. They have had to sort of go back to the drawing board and try and figure out, you know, what's a way we can get this horse going back to his best. Maybe the turf might see him do that. I've got him in my top 4. I'd like to see him produce what we know he can produce, and if he does, he'd be in this finish for sure.
And so far our tip sheets are looking bluer than our suits, and it might carry on for the Dubai Millennium as well. Well, I say it might. It probably will. I mean, you've got By the Book, you've got Arabian Light. This is a 700,000 dirham feature. The Dubai Millennium, named after an immortal horse on turf and dirt. Blew them away at Royal Ascot and Deauville, and of course the Millennium Dubai World Cup. By the Book, Arabian Light. Chibiti, very interesting first contender. First run for David Simcock out here, previously trained in France. Crystal Black, welcome to the Carnival. Jared Keane, whose son Colin Keane, an internationally renowned jockey, takes the ride. The likes of Fort George starting out here for Ed Walker. Almadar, well, he's a little bit long in the tooth now, and it's a bit sharp for him. And Missive Change, who's likely, I think a few of them will be hoping that she'll be doing what she's done in her 2 Carnival starts so far and making the running. Who are you siding with?
I'm with By the Book here. I'm gonna side with the horse who's dropping back in trip here from 2,400 back to 2,000 metres. The run and the turn of foot that he showed in this race, although much like Arabian Light, struck a very similar type of handicap from a grading perspective, just picked up incredibly well. To the eye, I personally thought that By the Book's win was a little bit more electric than Arabian Light. It's a toss of the coin between the two. I think both of them have and truly make good cases for each other. But yeah, look, I mean, in a coin flip, it was By the Book for me. Did you see them the same?
I did. I thought for this kind of contest, which it might be run at a bit of a stop-start gallop, By the Book showed gears over a further trip last time that suggested a drop back to 10 furlongs to 2,000 metres was going to be no problem. I thought William Buick gave Arabian Light the ride of the Carnival so far to get him to win against his stablemate, drawn in 13. And I mean, when we pick him up at this point, he was right up there, and then he had to make a decision, and he took him right back and got him settled, brought him through with 1 run. Perfection.
Yeah, it was very good, and I mean, as a result, you can truly make a case for both of these runners. They've both showed you know, impressive progression in their recent starts, and I'd be not shocked to see them both in the finish here within a couple of lengths of each other at the absolute maximum. So yeah, tough decision to pick between the two. I do agree that it's a race in 2. I really enjoyed the win of Fort George last start for Ed Walker and Kieran Schumacher. I thought he was very impressive. I'd expect him to run a good race as well, but I think the Godolphin horses have the sort of the key to this race. And yeah, in a coin flip, I've gone By the Book.
How many times do you reckon Charlie Appleby's won the Dubai Millennium?
You can tell me now.
Just the 9 out of the last 10 starts.
Yeah,
He's won off a decade